Chelsea 2, Manchester United 2, full-time reaction on my opinions. To be quite honest, guys, I'm very disappointed about the result. 95 plus minutes of stoppage time. We conceded right late on, and the game ended in a 2-all draw. And I'm absolutely disappointed in our worst record at Stamford Bridge continues as well in the current process. We haven't won at Stamford Bridge, as we all know, since 2012. We was on the verge of winning that game today. The referee had put 6 minutes stoppage time on at the end of the game, as I'm going to go into more detail now. I think the debate was Marcus Rashford late on in the second half was getting some treatment, and that did waste quite a bit of time, and I think this is where the referee got the stoppage time from. But overall in the game, we haven't won now at Stamford Bridge, as we all know, 2012, since, under the Fergie era. Now it's 17 games. 17. We've only won one game in 17 at Stamford Bridge, as we all know. But it was good to see, Martial as well. Fantastic composure, very delightful player indeed. Jose Mourinho, we know he's been under so much pressure, before today, especially, last season, losing to Chelsea in the final. Last season, losing to Chelsea 1-0, under Jose Mourinho's first season, we got hammered at Stamford Bridge by 4-0. So Jose Mourinho is yet to beat Manchester United are yet to win at Stamford Bridge, under Jose Mourinho, as we all know. But it is a very disappointment. It's good to see Martial, scored 2 of our goals. His first 2 career goals. His first 2 goals in his whole career against Chelsea. He scored a lot more goals, but these are his first 2 goals he scored against Chelsea, in all his career. So the goals were from Chelsea went 1-0 up midway point in the first half. It was quite even in the first half. There was a spell that Chelsea had where they were passing the ball very well. I think David Luiz played well. Also, to be fair, then Hazard, did very well against Ashley Young, that fullback position. But I thought our defensive line looked mostly very good. I thought Luke Shaw played very well in that backline area. Thought Pogba didn't have too much of a bad game in that midfield, as we all know. I think Lukaku had a couple of chances as well in the current process, but Chelsea had gone 1-0 up. It was from a corner from Jan. Rudiger jumped up with a header and he went straight into the back of the net. It was quite fast. Paul Pogba reportedly was to blame for that. I think Lindelof might have been involved in the situation as well. I think Paul Pogba was too late marking Rudiger. It was too late to cover Rudiger up, to stop him from getting that header in and putting it into the back of the net. So Pogba had a little dispute there with Chelsea's first goal. But basically, I thought it was an even first half. I thought Chelsea, in the whole game had 21 shots. We had 7. It said on the stats they created 19 chances. Manchester United created 5 opportunities as well. But basically, as well, there wasn't many chances, especially in the first half of what I saw anywhere. In the second half, Manchester United livened up. We started to control the game a little bit. We got into shape. We livened up. We created a few chances. Mata had a massive chance just before our equaliser, and the keeper saved it. Also, Chelsea had a couple of chances as well in the second half, but I thought we livened up in the second half, and Martial scored Manchester United's equaliser. I think it was something to do with it went into the box. I think it had ricocheted off Jorginho. And it fell to Martial, and it was a calm and composed finish, and that was 1-1. And then just under 18 minutes later in the second half, Martial had scored again for Manchester United. Fantastic build-up play. Mata showed some lovely piece of skill and very good acceleration down that right flank. Very good. Passed it to Rashford. Rashford got the assist. Rashford passed it to Martial. And Martial finest place finishes it in the 6-yard box. Finest place finishes it in the 6-yard box, and it was a lovely finish as well indeed in the 70th minute. And then it looks like Manchester United, we were still totally in control of the game. Basically, then Jose Mourinho, and it looks like we're on the verge of winning the game at that point. We haven't won at Stamford Bridge since 2012. Chelsea are the most team that have beat us in the Premier League, as we all know. And at Stamford Bridge, it's a fortress, especially when they had Jose Mourinho. Obviously he won 3 titles with Chelsea. as we all know. But yeah, Mourinho brought a few substitutions, and as I said, Rashford wasted a bit of time on the touchline. I think he was getting some treatment or something like that, if I can remember rightly. And Herrera, Mata had a fantastic game, by the way. Juan Mata had scored. He'd scored against us, in his Chelsea days, had Juan Mata as well. Juan Mata, Herrera came on for Juan Mata. Also Mourinho brought Sanchez on for Rashford. Sanchez, we know, was on the bench. And he also took, I was surprised Jose Mourinho took Antonio Martial off as well, currently the man of the match. Fantastic young age talent. I think he's comparable Marcus Rashford. I think, he's calm and composed. He's a Martial, so too is Marcus Rashford. Pereira come on for Antonio Martial in the second half as well. But yeah, it's a very, very it's a very, very bad shame. And the late goal in the 96th minute, Chelsea were putting a bit of pressure on, in stoppage time. I think a ball went in. David Luiz had headed it. It came off the post. I think there was 30 seconds left of the match, for us to hold on and get the 2-1 victory against Chelsea. It hit the post, and I can't remember the player who hit it. It hit it, and David De Gea had saved it. And then luckily, from Chelsea's perspective, it fell to Ross Barkley, and he tapped it away, to make it a 2-2. And after that, what I saw on Sky Sports, a fight. I think an incident had corrupted. Mourinho had jumped up on the technical area, something like that. I think he went for I can't remember who it was. It was somebody with a grey top on. I think Mourinho tried to attack him. The stewards were holding him back. I think it was either a spectator or it was an official or something like that ran on the pitch and started celebrating. And then Mourinho basically did try to attack him as well, something like that of what I saw. But yeah, as we know the other week, basically Mourinho's job, could you say it's still under threat now with what's happened today? It was, and it can just prove, that it wasn't a bad performance at all today for Manchester United. 2 very good goals from Antonio Martial. We know Chelsea, a very, very good side. We thought we were going to, beat them for the first time at Stamford Bridge since 2012. We failed to do so. And it's just very, very disappointing, it's first time since October 2009 we've conceded that late on in a football match, as we all know. It used to be Manchester United scoring the late goals in stoppage time stuff, especially under the Fergie days. He had that fear factor, as we all know. But if we'd have won today, we'd have gone 4 points behind Chelsea, as we all know. It's very, very disappointing. Man City won today by 5-0 as well. But yeah, it's very, very disappointing indeed. But it just shows there's been talks that these players are not playing for Jose Mourinho. Pogba especially not playing for Jose Mourinho because Pogba and Jose Mourinho have had a fallout, as we all currently know. There were also a chance in the game. I think Alvaro Morata had a chance early on in the second half as well when he was clear. David Luiz header that just went wide as well. There wasn't many, great opportunities in the game, as I said. But very, very disappointing, Chelsea, scoring, with 30 seconds left in the game. So that's us we've dropped 2 points now. I think we're still sitting 8th. We've played 9 now. Won 4, drawn 2, and lost 3. Chelsea, sitting second now with City's victory today. Chelsea still unbeaten in the league. So too Man City. And so too, I think Liverpool are as well. Chelsea played 9, won 6 and drawn 3. They scored quite a lot of goals, haven't conceded many so far this season. Chelsea still remain unbeaten. Chelsea have got a good squad, Sarara, bolstered the squad even more, basically in last summer, he spent around that £122 million, as we all know. We got 3 players in the last summer. We got Fred in there and we got 2 other players as well. Mourinho, I think, has purchased 11 players since he's come to the club. But basically, I still think something needs addressing in the Manchester United team. There's still problems there, defensively. I think we stood firm today in that back line. Attackably, we looked very, very good today. Jose Mourinho went with the 4-4-3 formation. So that is an attacking instinct, formation. That's an attacking formation that Jose Mourinho went with today. Matic, played. He was in doubt, but obviously he was back in training, so he played today. So basically, Jose Mourinho, as I said to you earlier on, he did admit in his press conference, press conference, I think it was, or whatever it was, an interview. He admitted he'd love Eden Hazard to come to Manchester United. I think Chelsea would be reluctant to sell Eden Hazard, especially to arch rivals as well. We know that Jose Mourinho, has worked with Eden. He's worked with him in the past. Jose Mourinho with Chelsea, won 3 titles with them, obviously as well. Jose Mourinho's got a very, very good relationship with him. So Jose Mourinho he may want to reunite, with Eden Hazard. For me, one of the best players in the Premier League as well. Surprised he didn't get his name on the score sheet today. Eden Hazard, he's versatile, very, very skillful, very quick on the ball, as we all know. But both teams, I think it was a pretty even game, to be fair. I think the second half, especially when we equalised, I thought we took a bit control of the game. We created a few more chances. We looked very, very good in possession as well. But yeah, it is a very, very, it's very, very hard to take. Is that, considering our record at Stamford Bridge, is very, very bad indeed. It was a shame we just couldn't hold on for that last 30 seconds or so, to get all 3 points at Stamford Bridge. That would have only took us 4 points behind Chelsea as well. But, Chelsea got a lot of class players, they have, they've won 5 Premier League titles, as we all know. They've won quite a lot of FA Cups as well. They've got class players like Willian, David Luiz, they've got like Pedro, they've got Aspilicueta, they've got Hazard, who's very, very versatile, that can cause teams problems as well. He caused a few problems today, was an aerial threat, was Eden Hazard as well. They've got players like, Rudiger, who got his name on the score sheet today from that corner. David Luiz, as I said. They've got Alvaro Morata as well, who scored against us last season. But yeah, Chelsea have got a lot of class players as well. They won the title with Conte in their first season. It just proves how much of a good team Chelsea are, as we all know. And I think Sarari's could possibly make them win the league. Chelsea drew with Liverpool at Stamford Bridge this season. They beat Arsenal at Stamford Bridge this season. I can't remember if they have played Manchester City this season yet. I'll have to look up at that. I don't think I can remember that as well. But for me, I think the titles this season, for me, I can't see Manchester United winning it. But the problem is, it just proves that Manchester United can perform well against the big teams. What? We know Jose Mourinho's job has been basically under pressure for so many reasons. Losing to teams, that Manchester United should not be losing to. The likes of Brighton. We've lost to Brighton. The Amex Stadium for the last couple of seasons. We lost to West Ham, quite a few weeks ago, 3-1 as well. We lost to Tottenham at Old Trafford as well. They're quite a fairly big team now as well. But you think that these players can prove a point to Jose Mourinho. And, the result's disappointing because we conceded late on, but it just proves these players can dig in and perform for Jose Mourinho when they want to. And today, Manchester United did perform very, very well. Chelsea also performed well as well, but I think second half Manchester United did shade the game. Sarari admitted, Manchester United have got the best squad in the Premier League. They just haven't fully gelled together yet, as we all know since the Fergie days. We all know since Alex Ferguson left, this isn't the same team, and Fergie was one of the most successful managers ever, as we all know. And, obviously Jose Mourinho, as I said, bought 11 players in. He's still inheriting some of the players Van Gaal got and David Moyes got as well. For me, I think Juan Mata's world class, as I said. Sanchez has failed to make an impact so far since he's come to the club. He's on $500,000 a week. Sanchez did come on late in the second half. Mourinho did rest Alexis Sanchez, as we all know. But yeah, it's very, very, very disappointing result. It's better than losing, the results, I think the best results we've had this season, away from home, one at Watford away, one at Burnley away, and that's when the players showed that they can perform for Jose Mourinho. And we know he's still been under so much pressure as Jose Mourinho. For me, I think he'll still stay at Manchester United till January, unless more things update in the press. There has been talks about other managers potentially coming in, if Jose Mourinho does get the sack, as we all know. It might, I think, Jose Mourinho will look to bolster the squad even more in the January window. He spent £200 million in his first season on four players. I think Lindelof's really performed at all, since he's come from Benfica to Manchester United. You know, but when we had Alex Ferguson, we had the best. We had fantastic players like Vidic, Ferdinand, Gary Neville, Michael Carrick. Was at the club over a decade, as we all know. Made over 300 odd appearances. Like Ryan Giggs. Fantastic players. Van Nistelrooy, David Beckham, Roy Keane. All them players that Ferguson had were absolutely fantastic. And, under Alex Ferguson, we could go 7-8 games unbeaten. We'd win win them all under Alex Ferguson. But now this isn't the team that Alex Ferguson used to have. I think most of the time the players are performing for Jose Mourinho. But it just shows, in some games, these players do play well. They can perform. They can put 100% in a game. And today, Manchester United did very, very well. I think we was just unlucky to concede that goal in the last minute from Ross Barkley, indeed, which was very, very impressive. But man of the match for me, obviously, was Antonio Martial. His performance, his work rate was absolutely fantastic. Getting 2 goals at Stamford Bridge as well, which was amazing to see as well. But yeah, I really thought Manchester United were going to hold on and win that. It is a shame. I'll have to look at what Manchester United's next game is as well. But Stamford Bridge, just like Old Trafford used to be a fortress back in the day with Alex Ferguson, as we all know. But Stamford Bridge, it's very, very hard for teams to go to Stamford Bridge and get 3 points, especially under Mourinho, because I don't think he was ever beaten at Stamford Bridge, Jose Mourinho, whilst he was with Chelsea. We know we've got the worst record ever against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. I'm gonna go watch Jose Mourinho's press conference now of what he thought of the game. I think the performance was good. I don't think you can't doubt the performance, because I thought majority of the players put a very, very good shift in today. We lacked a couple of times at the back, a couple of times, we were mistaken at the back. But apart from that, I thought, Manchester United, we had a lot of dominant spells in that game. Even in the first half, we had dominant spells in the game. We're pushing forward and we're looking a threat as well. I thought Rashford looked strong on that wing as well a couple of times. As I said, with his fantastic pace that he's got, Marcus Rashford. But yeah, as I said, Chelsea have had a lot of great managers in the past, as we all know, that have been fired. And I think this Sarari he's going to do very, very well at Chelsea as well. Conte won the Premier League title with Chelsea in his first season as well. But I'm going to go watch the press conference now of what I think is what Jose Mourinho said. Going to go watch Sarari's now on YouTube, as I said. But yeah, me as a Manchester United fan, very, very disappointed indeed. First 9 games, this is our worst start to season for a long, long time indeed. We played 9, as I said. One for. Played 9, 1-4. I think we've drawn 2 and lost 3. I think that's what it is now. But yeah, we had the most successful manager in world football, when we had Alex Ferguson. That's last time we won at Stamford Bridge, in the last season of Alex Ferguson's career as well. Alex Ferguson's career. And that game, I think we won 3-2. Chelsea were down to 9 men in that game. I think Hernandez scored the winner in that one as well. But yeah, we had nearly 3 decades of success with Alex Ferguson. We got him from Aberdeen in 1984. I'd love to see Ferguson's opinion now on the club of what's going on with Manchester United at the moment. But I think we can take some positives from today's game. We didn't win the game, which was a negative. We scored 2 fantastic goals. We should have really, really won the game. Just before the international break, we got the win against Newcastle, where Jose Mourinho was under serious pressure. We come back and, from a 2-goal deficit, we won that game by 3-2. We did the same today. 1-0 down, turned it around to 2-1. We're thinking, then we're thinking, hold on, we can go on a winning streak, and it's just very, very disappointing. Chelsea score that late goal, and it's just a very disappointing indeed to drop 2 points. It would have been a massive result for Manchester United. It would have been one of the biggest results of the season for us. But yeah, guys, I'd like to know your comments. Drop your comments below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe to my channel, as always, and take it easy. God bless, guys, and I'll see you all again very soon. Take care. Bye.